Hello my good students, welcome back to our War on the Sea Let's Play series as the Imperial Japanese Navy trying to create the Greater East Asian Empire. And you know what, we're on a bit of a setback here. In the previous video we were not playing very well at all, were we? Terribly. And we let two battleship task forces bombard Guam individually, so we're left with a level 0 airfield and 0 port there now. It's been ground into the dirt. Just some survivors there now, a couple thousand troops and supplies there now. We're moving in to rectify that, to build up our base there bigger and better than before, back to a level 3 airfield as quick as possible, I think there. Not only so that we get the radar coverage, but so that we can pick up from the planes we've lost on Saipan the last few days as well, because that's out of engineering and fuel to resupply its own planes there, unfortunately. So we're in a bit of a pickle. I think the strategy to go for now is get more and more surface ships out, to be honest, and focus on upgrading and maintaining our bases that we have at the moment. Try and stabilize a bit so that we can then push out to other bases to take. We might try and look at island hopping through the Philippines to increase our income, but that's going to be more of a second afterthoughts, to be honest, to look at once we've stabilized, really. So we'll see. We'll have a look at what we've got right now. I think we're right on top of an enemy task force from what I remember. We were looking at sinking a second South Dakota, weren't we? I think we've just done. So let's catch up and go to the strategic map. Alrighty, so should we go to the enemy's losses, just to remind ourselves what we have done. You know what, considering the fact that we have taken a quick setback, we're not doing too badly overall, are we? We've sunk a South Dakota over here, a few days ago, and we've sunk a fair few supply ships. So we've got a couple heavy cruisers here and there as well. A couple of Northamptons have gone down, but we did see over here is lurking a King George V task force about. The task force we did just hit is retreating perhaps back to Wake Island. We just have to assume that at the moment, unfortunately. We'll come back home with these Kates and such right now. Do have a fair few of those about, didn't lose too many by the looks of it. So that's okay, we can keep our carriers in play for a little bit longer. We should be getting resupplied in a fair few days' time so that we can come back and help out with that very soon to rearm and such. But we are coming in with some troops, supplies and a little bit of engineering for Guam over here to reinforce that a bit. So in case it does get actually invaded, we can deal with that fairly well. We have a lot of supplies, a little bit of engineering. We loaded this up with all of these supplies before the attacks came in. So we're not going to be able to upgrade it just yet, but that's absolutely fine. We'll be able to once our second task force comes in. We were planning to go to truck, as you can see there, but now that Guam's been hit twice, we're going to go straight in and do that. It's going to take 91 hours to get through there though, so we need to hold fast. We need to get our second Fuso task force over here to reinforce Fighting Force 1. And then we can probably take a more decisive surface engagement when we need to. So that's the plan so far. And we're just going to keep an eye out for supplies and such as usual outside of Hong Kong. Let's really bloody go. Okay guys, so just south of Kaohsiung, outside of Hong Kong, a recon Toryu did spot what was identified as a battleship task force. I did not actually scout that out to see exactly what was there, in fear that we would have lost sight of that due to the engagement grace period. So we followed that with some jakes, and now we've managed to catch up with that just about with our submarines patrolling around. We're not in the most ideal position. I'd rather be a tad closer, perhaps a little more ahead of them. So they are going to be sailing just a tad away from us here. I haven't seen exactly what it is just yet, but before we begin, what I'm going to do is, of course, try and turn into them a tad and try and just get a little closer here. If we go and see, we do need to turn in just a tad, unfortunately, there. I'm going to break off with this particular sub and carry on straight, I think, here, and go straight into them if possible. Let's raise our periscope to see exactly what we have here. So we can see what looks like a Brooklyn county. Looks like another British battleship behind that. I would bet that's another King George. And we've got a few destroyers on the rear as well. We're going to stop turning quite so hard with this sub. Going to raise our scope here as well. We need to start targeting something because we're going to run out of time. Yep, that is a King George. So let's target that. Let's get... We can't use radar with our periscope up camera. It's not a problem. Let's try and identify that then. Where is King George? There we go. And that should be okay for that. So let's get some torpedoes ready. We're going to fire all 6 if possible. It's a 1 degree spread. And with this sub, I think we're going to go for perhaps the county, because you can bet they're trying to actually go for a bombardment once again, and we really are fed up of that, if I'm honest. It's not a crown colony, it's a county just there. Excellent. I'll go in full speed there, that's fine. I think we're going to turn out a tad more with this. Do we have a decent solution? Yeah, 20 degree lead there, excellent. How we look with this? We have an intercept, 48 degree intercept course there, no worries. I think actually we could probably slow down with this particular sub and let our other one overtake it there. We are going to carry on with our minor turn out towards it there. We do have a very good solution on that King George though so far. We have a very good solution on the county, but I'd rather have a better lead there on that. And we're going to fire just a few less torpedoes. I think we're going to go to 4 and stay with the 1 degree spread, because that will of course get rather wide at the distance we're at 6.2 kilometers away from that, and the 7 kilometers away from the King George at the moment. I think now might be the time to fire out. So let's go for the King George first. That's going to be the highest priority here. We do have a decent intercept course at 20 degrees there. Let's fire out all of our torpedoes and bring down our scope. Go to silence, dive down. Is there a thermal layer? There is one at 69. I forget. Okay, so we got a test depth of 60, so we can't quite reach that with this particular sub. Going to wait a couple seconds just for those torpedoes to go out, but I think really that's going to be okay for the county. So let's go down to 4 again, and that should be okay to fire out at the county as well as give the King George torpedoes time to hit that. So let's go. Got a 99% solution on that, the 32 degree lead there. Very, very nice indeed. So once again, we're going to fire out with all of these, which we have done. Scope down, go to silent. This particular sub does have a 100 meter test depth, so we can go to, I think we're going to go to 80 meters here, so we are certainly below that thermal layer. And what we're going to do is turn away, of course. We're going to reduce our speed, and we're going to do the same over here. We're going to turn the other way though here, and just make sure we are going at a slower speed there. So let's see how these torps do, shall we? Fingers crossed. Well guys, we didn't wait quite long enough for those King George torpedoes to travel far enough before we launched the county ones. So we did successfully get the county. Actually got a magazine explosion on that, but because they had that early warning, the King George has managed to escape its death just there. So that's a lot of torpedoes wasted on that. We'll see if they collide into anything else, but I highly doubt it with the direction the enemy is taking there. They are, of course, trying to hunt us down with what appears to be a Jervis over here. And what do we have over here? A, let's call that a, is that a Bagley? Possibly. Call it a Bagley for now. Can we hear any sonar pings? No, we can't. So they're not entirely sure where we are just yet. So we can keep running away, but we may just have to disengage here. Not a lot of point waiting around, just watching the county sink. That's a very nice win to get that, but our base of Kaohsiung is in that much danger still because we have the battleship guns to bombard that bearing down on us, unfortunately. So we'll see what we can do about that. The Kitakami might have to send some torpedoes downrange, but it will be sacrificing itself with the massive amount of firepower out here. Cannot stand up to that at all, can it? So we'll just have to see. Let's retreat. Well, very luckily for us, that King George V task force did just disappear. It looked like it went straight almost towards Okinawa, but we did scout it out with some howitzers and such around there. But just south of Peleliu, and that between that and Truk, we have sighted yet another battleship task force. We have in New Orleans at the back. We have yet another South Dakota there, and it looks like actually a Wichita at the front. Should we have a look at that? Nope, that's not a Wichita at all. That's a Brooklyn. I was looking at the smokestacks and the command bridge, but not the gun layout at all there. So that's absolutely fine. Well, say that, but we've had a lot of difficulty getting rid of these things recently, haven't we? So let's get out, mark that. So it's just over here. It's a little out of the way at the moment. Bit out of reach, but that's okay. We can probably look at guessing that with our subs over by a truck. So let's do that. And what we could do is come over and try and do some wide patrols, like so. If we just move this out of the way, do some very wide patrols over here and bring that over towards truck and see what we get with that. We are coming into position to land our first supplies over onto Guam to begin with. So the second supplies though, that will be there to upgrade that. So we've got Fighting Force 1 now, which does have both Fusos and 2 Takaus there. So that's going to be fairly decent, even considering the first Fuso does have a fair bit of damage on it. So what we're doing really now is, like I said, is waiting around and trying to stabilise a bit. Waiting to get resupplied as well, so that it can bring out some more surface ships to help out around here and reinforce. So let's carry on and try and upgrade Guam. Well, guys, do you think this might be the same task force that we saw just a second ago? We were actually trying to hunt with these submarines what was roughly estimated at a carrier task force by the strategic map for us. So very lucky to have found this particular group, but there may still be something rather large out there waiting for us. So this is a South Dakota. We're going to identify that. Get how many torpedoes we have in the tubes with full stock of 18 there. Once again, go over 6 torpedoes at a 1 degree spread there. Going to wait. We're going to turn a tad around. We have a very nice sea state to not get detected here. We are on sea state 6. But there's no layer to hide under. The visibility is only 54%, which does work in our favour there. So we're going to try and get a tag closer. We already have a very nice solution on them there. I'm just going to turn so we are a little more perpendicular. We are going to try and go for a second ship here with our second sub, of course. What do we want to go for here? I'm quite liking the idea of the Brooklyn, because they do have a hell of a lot of those. They do hurt. I think... do you want to go for the New Orleans though? I think we should go for the Brooklyn. Don't like those ships. Bloody bastards. Bloody Americans. Oh, we have a scout. Let's down very quickly. Go down to 30 meters very quickly, thank you. Or even 20 would do here with this sea state. Staying at periscope depth, not ideal though, unfortunately, while that's about. So what we can do is use this time to actually get a tag closer to them. We can stop turning quite so much here. We just do need to go a little faster there to catch up. Might actually turn a tad here. Wish that scout would bugger off. They're right over us. Right over us. I'm going to fast forward a tad and see if that does leave, and see if we can get over to these ships a bit better. Okay, I think we're going to go to periscope depth. What's that thing doing? What is that thing doing? I think we're just going to have to go to periscope depth and fire everything we have. Really? Do need to identify that Brooklyn though. Let's get on that. We have a very nice solution on it either way. There we go, it is going up above 60, which is brilliant for us. Already to 90. Well, I was looking at the different sub, then I'm an idiot. But we are just about coming to periscope depth. Going to stop turning with both subs. Actually turn a little over here with this one. Reduce our speed so that not making anywhere near as much noise. And we are at periscope depth with this sub. Got a very nice solution. Let's just fire out while we can before we get spotted and before they start making any evasive maneuvers there. Should be fairly difficult with low visibility and increased sea state to spot us, but you never know. You never know, do you? You never know. Looks like we've all fired out here, so we don't have our periscope up. Let's dive back down to 60 meters here. Turn all the way around here, and I think we can fire out in just a second. We are going to wait once again for these torpedoes. I'm going to fire out 4 here to 1 degree spread once again. Let these ones travel for the South Dakota. Looks like the plane is out of range there for us, which is brilliant. And we are going to fire off now, I think. We've waited long enough. We'll start to miss the Brooklyn if we do wait any longer. Oh, where would we be without submarines, eh? Really carry me in every single Japanese campaign, which is exactly what they're for, you know, the easy way out there. This is the 60 meter test depth. Let's go to 50 and turn out. Make sure we are going at a fairly slow speed there. Double check with the IJN as well, which has gone up to a 5 knot speed. Let's go to 2 there. And that should be okay. Fingers crossed, we do actually get this ruddy bloody battleship. Well, not quite the hits we wanted on that South Dakota, is it? Only 3 hits. We did launch all 6 torpedoes there. I did wonder if we made that mistake. But I think the problem there was perhaps the distance towards the enemy there. And I don't know otherwise, really. We did have a very nice solution on that. Going for a 0% or 0 degree spread, to my knowledge, is never a good idea. You do not want to pinpoint all of your torpedoes onto one specific area of the ship. You do want to spread out the damage a bit. That's got a very nice list and some very nice fires. Let's take a quick report. Heavy to heavy, maybe one more torpedo on the rear would have done that actually. So that may have to go straight back to the dockyard. You never know. You never know. AI does like to push in sometimes. With the most damaged of ships, we do have a submarine left with a couple torpedoes, don't we? But that's going to get away. That is going, let's see, is going at 14 knots. It is running away at the bad angle there. It has got on top of the fires by the looks of it. So I don't think we're going to sink that today, unfortunately. It was rather unlucky for us. But you know what? I'll take it. Absolutely take it. That Brooklyn looks like it's chancing these torpedoes. Where are they? Can't quite see the streams. Just here. They may very well run out of range, actually. See on the map, it's just straddling them. Might just find a little Brooklyn-sized gap in there. And that's exactly what's happening, I think. We might just catch one. Might just catch one there. Go on. Go on. Get the rudder. Go on. Go on, my son. Get the rudder. Come on. Yes, there you go. Oh, dearie me. No, by no means going to sink it, but I'll take it. Absolutely take that. And the other torpedo is just going to scratch the paint there. Wave bye-bye. Everyone wave bye-bye to the torpedoes there. If they don't run out of range, that might just catch the bow, actually. Go on. Go on. Nah, surely not. There we go. Just clipped it there. Just scratched the paintwork. That's fine. We can take that. We can absolutely live with that. They're not hunting us either. Not too bothered about that. So we can just leave. Let's go. Yeah, heavy to heavy on the South Dakota. Moderate damage on the Brooklyn. So that's rather nasty indeed. That was right outside of Truck. This is a great place to park our submarines, isn't it? Do have a fair amount of torpedoes left with these guys. We're fairly close with our second supplies to upgrade Guam, so I think that would be the objective for today. And let's carry on. We do see actually a supply ship over here. That should not be allowed to live, should it? Let's launch some 12 aircraft from the Taiyo. Going to launch them with no armament. Just strafe that down and we'll go straight in. But we're able to sight this South Dakota once again. We can of course see firstly a scout in the air once again. The pesky scout. That may well get in our way a little too much there, unfortunately. I'm going to break off here. Would like to go for the same ships again since they are quite crippled, but I think really our problem here is going to be the South Dakota. We're going to focus a few torpedoes on that and hopefully that will bring it down. If we just take another report, so that is still on heavy and moderate. I would wager 3 torpedoes, so we're going to fire 4. We get 4 ready here and identify that of course. It's not the best angle of attack here. So we are going to have to try and act quickly before they outrun us. But that scout is certainly getting in our way there. Let's increase our speed. Yeah, I'm not liking that at all. Our solution's not so bad, but we're going to have to catch up. And we're already stretching the limits of our torpedoes' range. We're getting closer. Getting closer ever so slightly to them. Looks like they may have scouted us out actually. But we are... what are they doing? They're jiggling about. They're jiggling about. What are they doing? Is that just a formation change or are they actually trying to hunt us? That's the question. What's South Dakota doing? Not too sure there. Not too sure at all. Do have a very nice solution on that. So we are going to go to periscope depth and try and snipe that out. Can't hear any torpedo sonar detection, can we? We're out of their active range. I think they're just wiggling around their formation there. Yeah, they wouldn't be turning in if they knew where we are. So do we have a good interception angle? 34 degrees for a lead, excellent. 1 degree spread, 99 solution. Periscope depth is achieved. Let's go, let's fire. Before we do actually get spotted, I think. Because that scout's still going to be about, you can bet that. Look at that. Look at that. All done. Brilliant. Let's go down. Silent. And we'll go down to 50 meters because... do we have a layer to hide under? 66 meters. Excellent. Let's just do that then. Let's go down to a good old 80 meters below sea level there. And we'll go to a 3 knot speed and just turn out like that. Where are we with this? 30 meters. Let's go to... can't quite hide under there with this destroyer. Let's destroy submarine, can we? Let's go down to a 2 knots and go to their aft there. Fingers crossed with these though. Hopefully this will sink it. And there you go, it is sinking. Excellent, really, really good work there, if I may say so myself. Like I say, where would we be without submarines, eh? Really shows how just bad we are at the game, doesn't it? But it does it has brought us in 5 lovely, juicy command points, which brings me on to my next point. We have just been resupplied, which means we get more juicy command points. So we're going to start making yet another surface group. This is going to be quite minor. We're not going to add a battleship to this because we don't quite have the points for that, but that's not a problem at all. We are of course going to get some fairly decent destroyers. I think firstly though we're going to try and get a couple CAs out. We're going to go for a single Mogami to start with. That doesn't have any air radar. Tonne does though, and therefore we're going to get it. Let's get the Tonne. And we're going to get, of course, some destroyers to help out there. I think we're going to go for an Akatsuki. We're going to go for a Yugamo. Where are we? We're going to go for 2 of those, I think, because Yugamos really do win you the games. They have the surface radar over here of 26-kilometer range, which is amazing if you ask me. And we'll get something for flavour, shall we? Shall we go for... Fubuki's never bad. Tad on the expensive side for a destroyer. Quite the classic though. Might actually just get a Hatsuharu out. Why not? Don't ever see Hatsuharus. Why not? Not from me anyway. We do have a few points. 9 points to spend. That's not really going to get us anything other than another destroyer, which would help, but I don't want to spend all of our command points just yet. So let's get that out. Do we want to send any supplies anywhere with that? So we can only have minor supplies. It's not really going to help out with anything, to be honest, down here. Just the minor supplies. So let's just take that out. We'll call that Fighting Force 2 in just a second. Bring that straight down. Alrighty guys, we have a couple things popping off here. We have just unloaded all of our supplies headed to Guam onto the base there. So we're looking very nice supplier wise now. So we're about to ruin that by upgrading that to a level 1 airfield at least. It will take all 200 fuel to upgrade that again. Do we want to do that? That's a question. Do we want to actually do that, or do we want to let our planes replenish first? I think letting our planes replenish first would be the better option there to use that up. And then we can take whatever's left on Kure over here. By the time we get over there, we should probably be resupplied once again. This is a long old trip. We probably want to invest in some more cargo ships to make that journey or rotation just that much quicker. Or pop off that much more. But we have sighted a possible 6 ships over here. We'll see what that is. We'll bring our Pete in over here to have a look. See what we can get. So let's go to tactical. Okay. What exactly do we have? We have a New Orleans. We have an assortment of destroyers alongside that. And I can't quite make out what that is through the binoculars. That's another Brooklyn. So it appears we have the South Dakota escorts over here. And you know what's very close? You know what's very close? You know what's very close is Fighting Force 1. I'm going to mark that. And you know what? We might have to save that for the next video, because this one will drag on for quite some time. If we do have a surface engagement right now, I'm afraid, guys. And so long as we keep sight of that, I may have just buggered that up by going into tactical. But so long as we do have sight over there, we will have a surface engagement very soon by the looks of it. They will be a lot faster than us because we do have 2 massive slow battleships here. So we'll see what they want to do with that. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. I've very much enjoyed presenting to you once again today. I will ask you to please have a look at the community Discord if you are interested. Just a place where you can have some more input on the current series that are running and any future videos that you might want to see from me. And of course, look out for some games to play together and such. But thank you very much for watching once again. I've been the Edified Gamer, and I hope all of your nights and days are auspicious. Goodbye.